So hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Now today I am having a little test ride on this here BMW R1250RS. Now let's have a look and let's have a little play and see what this is all about. It's further forward than I thought. I looked down, I couldn't see it. Now I must say, a BMW R1250RS I test rode before when I was considering what to buy, and I ended up buying the Kawasaki Z1000SX. I did really like the R1200 back in the day. But I ended up deciding to go with the Kawasaki just because dealership was closer to me. But I've always thought very highly of this bike, and I decided I'd come and have a go again. And I had an invitation in the mail from BMW to come to one of their heritage days, so I signed up for it, and it just turned up at Sycamore BMW in Witham, and then they just took my driver's license, national insurance, and said, off you go, have some fun. I mean, this bike, in terms of comparing it with the Z1000, is a little bit down in power, it's a little bit heavier, but it does have extra torque. That's what it wins over the Z1000SX. And obviously, in terms of equipment, it's got all the BMW toys here. It's got the TFT screen, it's got semi-active suspension, ride modes galore. Not that I really play with that stuff. I'm leaving it in road mode because I just tend to find a setting that works for me, and then just leave it there. I don't think a lot of people go kind of playing about with all the different things while they're riding. I don't think that's a good idea. This also has keyless. Now I'll probably do a separate video about this, but I don't see what the problem is that keyless solves for bikes. Anyway, let's not talk about that. Let's just have a little bit of fun on this road with this bike. Let's see what I think. Now I rode here and I rode down this road with the Z1000. The riding position is very, very similar. Very similar. So you've got clip-ons, but they're above the yoke, which means you're a little bit forward, a little bit canted forward, but not a huge amount. It's a really nice seat height for me. Now I'm 5'7", 30-inch inseam, 170 centimeters tall, with a 76 centimeter inseam, and yeah, it's very easy to reach the floor with one foot. The ride comfort is very nice. This has, you know, like I said, all the toys, self-leveling suspension, blah blah blah. Okay, let's go. Second gear, 30 miles an hour. Lovely. Oh yeah. Rolling off third, back to second. Oh, I forgot, it's got it's got up and down quick shifter, but I'm not used to using those types of systems, so I always clutch. Gosh, must remember to use the quick shifter. So let's do that maybe at the next speed change. We'll go quick shifter. Oh yeah, there's your quick shifter. Oh, and 30. Let's shift down. quick shifter. It's a bit of a toy, really, isn't it? You don't need it. I mean, it's fun and all. Do you really need it? Of course, once you have it, you get used to it, and you want it all the time. But I've been so happy so far with that one on the Z1000SX. I don't think I'd even change to the newer model to get it. So there you are, guys. What do you think? R1250RS. Is this a bike that interests you in any way? What do you think of the Boxer engines? If you were getting one, which one would you get? The R, the RT, the GS? I was on the live stream with Exeter Rider and Bruce Smart, T-Pot 1, and he's saying there's no point to the RS. If you want a tour, get the RT. If you want adventure, get the GS. What's the point of the RS? And I think the point is exactly this. It's a great road bike. It's shorter and lighter than the GS, I think. I don't know even with the specs. It's just a more an everyday road bike than the GS. It's got a bit more weather protection than the R, because it's got fairing. The R is the roadster, it has no fairing. So I think there is a point to it. I quite like it. Anyway, thoughts on this versus the Z1000SX. Obviously the Z1000SX is one I already own. I'm very familiar with it. I think this one's a little bit heavier. It's got a smidgen less power, not that you would notice any of that on the road. We're talking about 100 horsepower versus 104 horsepower. This one's got a little bit more torque. This one has a lot more toys, electronics, rider aids and things. One big advantage this one has, no chain, shaft driven, like all the BMW Boxers are. Yeah. Chain mate, this is such a faff. That alone could tempt me. Comfort wise, it's hard to tell on such a short ride. I am getting a little bit of pain on my lower back. It seems to be, I think it's a little bit further forward than the Z1000, so maybe I'm a little bit more leaned forward. But I think that's something that your muscles and your body will tend to get used to after a while. So I don't think that would be a deal breaker. I guess it comes down to whether you prefer the character of a Japanese inline 4 versus a BMW Boxer, really, because that's really the big difference here. It seems to be quieter from a rider point of view. You're not getting an awful lot of auditory experience. It's a little bit quieter, I think, than the Z. The Z has got more of that sort of air box induction noise, whereas this one's got a kind of a quiet silencer and not much induction noise. So I think a disadvantage for me is this having a keyless system. I think that would actually be a negative point for me, to be honest. I don't know how you feel about that stuff. What's wrong with the key? Just give me a key. The key is fine. conclusion, I think if I was starting again, I didn't already have the Z1000SX, and I was deciding on a bike to buy, it would be a bit of a coin flip between these two. It's whether you want a European bike or a Japanese bike. It's whether you trust the BMW for reliability or whether you trust the Kawasaki for reliability. It's where's the closest dealer to you and how are they? Are they a good dealer? Do they look after you? And I think I'm very well set up with Kawasaki being so close to where I live, East London Kawasaki, that it would be hard. It would be hard to justify swapping the Z1000SX for this. But if I was buying new, it would be, again, it's like a coin flip, isn't it? It could be either, you could go either way. It could go either way. It depends on your personal circumstances and, like I said, where the dealers are, who's closest. The closest dealer to me is in central London, BMW Park Lane. But that would be a pain in the backside to get to every time I needed a service, right? Or I could come here to Whittam, which is about like an hour away from where I live. Yeah, this is definitely quieter in terms of the sound from the rider's perspective. It's quieter. It's much more sedate than the Z1000. Z1000 got more of like the induction noise that I really like. It's a question of your preference, really. You can get these with like a sport exhaust like a Provic. Somebody in my local IM group has one with that. It does make a lovely exhaust sound. But when you're cruising at a constant speed, I think the Z, to me at least, personally, sounds better. But you have to take one out and try it to make up your own mind. Really, don't you? I mean, this bike, don't get me wrong, this is a fantastic bike. It rides beautifully. It delivers the power lovely. The fueling is spot on. Quick shift is a little bit agricultural sometimes. It can jerk you forward a bit when you're switching. I think I'd still, for the majority, still use the clutch, to be perfectly honest with you. I have no experience what the reliability record is of these. So you'd have to do your research on that side. If I was looking to buy one, then I would definitely do that. Research it more. But this has been a very, very fun little test ride. Really enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed coming along. Just taking you back now to the dealer. Stay on your side. Thank you for coming along, and I hope to see you in the next one. For now, approaching Whittam, this is out.